Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Chaya? Are there others? Okay. What do we do? It's 2:30 now. Shall I start? Okay. Good. So, hi moms. Hi. Hi Pooja. Okay. Hi everybody. Now I would like to start what I wanted to talk to you people. Okay. Today my topic is nature and nurture. So nature, by this term nature, what I mean is just as we accept adults as a complete human entity at the physical plane, at the mental plane, at the spiritual plane, similarly even a little child when is born, a newborn, is also a complete human being. We need to expect some differences or commonalities, or we need to accept the human as a complete kid, as a complete human at a developing stage. Hi. Could you hear? Hi Samina. What about audibility? Can you hear what I'm speaking? Okay, good. So, okay, good. Thank you for that. Okay, so now let me continue. So we need to accept a little baby as a complete human entity. That's what we mean by nature. Okay. So today in this talk, what I would be saying is I would introduce to the topic nature and nurture, then how in different age groups how kids learn, then objectives of good parenting, what is good parenting and what is bad parenting, how do we know what is good parenting and what is bad parenting, and how to achieve or develop good personality traits, and how do we nurture. Okay, so coming back to nature and nurture, the first point is to accept a little baby as a complete human entity. And then, how do we nurture? By nurture, what we mean is to provide. Okay, to provide every need that the kid wants, which we all do. And initially it is only a physical need, the food and other comforting needs of putting them to sleep or the proximity of the parent. So at the mental plane, as the milestones develop, that is where there is more of bonding and the needs also increase. So once they start realizing how the world is around them, they start learning from everything that is existing, and then even their mental faculties develop. And their higher manifestation of spirit, we are talking about a complete human being is body, mind, spirit, right? So at the body level, when they are born, we are taking care of their physical needs. At the mental plane, as the milestones are increasing, they are starting learning and their mental faculties also develop. But what about the spiritual plane? The spiritual plane here for a child is the higher level of manifestations of happiness. So here the parents, they need to observe where the child is very excited or very happy, or how the happiness and higher spirits are manifested. How they are manifested, the parents can observe by longer involvement. The children will be very happy in a particular activity. And when they are happy, they would like to involve that in a longer time, and they express by excitement. So all this is a higher level of excitement, which is higher spirit. This is what the parents need to observe as they reach higher milestones. This is what we call by the nature, that is body, mind, spirit level. And the activities and the environment which we create is the nurture, that we are providing everything for the development of the child into a very healthy child. So this is what we will be calling a nurture. So when we need to understand our children, and we expect differences as well as we accept the commonalities. Every child will have differences also, because just like adult individual, the children also are small individuals at various developmental stage. So as parents, they need to observe their children, and for any kind of various stimuli that we provide for them to learn at the school or at home, we have to expect a no from the child or a yes from the child. And the moment we the child says no, it should not come as a big surprise to the parents. So this is what is important. When we are bringing up children, the moment the children deny something or says no, as parents, it is different from our expectation. So that should not be the case. This is what I'm saying. If we accept a little baby as a complete human entity, like a grown-up adult, the difference only being that it's at a developmental stage, then there is absolutely no conflict. When I am saying no, it's okay. When I say yes, it's okay. So there is more of bonding between the mom or the parents and the little kid. Okay, so it begins with the food, right? So if the child is saying, I don't want to eat, or child is not attracted to a food a particular time at the physical plane, then that's perfectly okay. Parents need not get worried and express the same kind of anxiety, or say something is wrong with the baby or child or something like that, and have a lot of anxiety. It's okay. You're not feeling hungry now? That's okay. That kind of a cool parenting is always good for the good child. And at the mental level, when you are accepting the child's no also, then the child's difference is understood. While this upbringing is going on, it is the responsibility of the parents to understand their children. This is a good example, would be rather a good example while bringing up children is, first thing, the food. Second thing, the aptitudes and interests. Some children are readily understanding and they are energized. Then that is the strength for the of the children. And if some children are not showing interest in a particular thing, or finds it difficult or something, tries to avoid a particular thing, then we must understand that, okay, it is not all that of interest for the child, or the child finds some difficulty, so what? Avoiding the thing. That's okay. It's not at all correct to try to help the child more and try to involve the child more into the same activity and try to help the child in any way to complete, to learn that and all that. No. We need to understand that, okay, my child, this is what is the interest of this. He's very happy or she's very happy doing this, whereas this is not showing interest. Let me see how it will be later. Okay. The same thing, I would call this only as an activity. The activity can be learning, the activity can be eating, the activity can be meeting new people or anything. Foremost, it is important to accept the children and not to expect the children always to be with us or to understand what we are saying. Okay, and food is something very important for every parent. They have concerns and issues. So here we need to understand about the taste. So when it comes to food, the child is made up of both the parents, right? So as parents, we must acknowledge the taste of the parents as well as the grandparents. What are their likes and dislikes? Both the sides, parents and both the side grandparents. Then while eating, just observe which taste the child is having more affinity towards, attracted towards. And it is just at the physical level. Do not think that because a child likes this particular taste, like the parent or like the grandparent, doesn't mean that the child is going to be exactly like that grandparent or something like that. This is to understand and provide the taste according to the liking of the child. And at the mental plane, these things are going to change, and it's never going to be the same kind of a personality just because, say for example, a grandfather has a particular affinity towards, liking towards a taste, and similar tendency is shown in the grandchild. It's purely the taste, eating only I'm talking about, the food. This doesn't mean that other attributes also would be same as the grandparent. The mental plane and the other faculties of how our mind works depends a lot other than nature. It depends a lot about the learning experiences the child gets through the life. So here what I am trying to say is, first it is food for the little children, and at this level it's purely the affinity towards liking of a taste. So it is a responsibility of parents to understand the taste of grandparents from both maternal and paternal, that means from mother side grandparents and father side parents, and father and the mothers, the taste. This is about the food because it's a common issue for all the parents, I know that. Okay, now after this we are coming to the mental plane, which means the child starts learning more. So how do kids learn? Obviously, we all know it's through the mental faculties, the neural connections, right? Now, the magic of learning starts from the womb itself. The children, when they are in the tummy itself, they start learning. It's been a proven fact. So, if they are learning so much and they are with so much of learning ability, here lies the responsibility of the parents again to nurture. And every time when we are providing through an act or what we say or what we do is all nurturing. We are providing a learning environment, or we are providing a learning atmosphere or a learning experience to the children. And these are the stimuli which we are providing to the children. So, we all know when we are providing a particular stimulus, there would be a response, is what we must achieve, not a reaction. So, if there is a reaction for the little child, then what the parents must understand is to change the approach of the stimuli. The kind of stimuli that we have given is attracting reaction. The other thing is to get response always. That means the child connects with the parent, and the child opens up and speaks up, communicates, whatever may be in the mind. Then the child is responding. If the child is just not responding and reacting, which means the parent is not achieving what the parent wants from the child, or educators or parents, they have educational goals or behavioral issues with the children. If we are not achieving that, then it's an immediate, it should be understood by the parents and the educators that this approach needs to be changed. It's not because the child is not understanding or anything like that, but the child somewhere is not connected with the approach of the parental teaching or the stimulus. Here comes the age group. Till the preschool and the primary level too, up to the age of 7 years, the huge research knowledge shows that the child is very much eye connected. So when that means self connected. When we give a guidance by eye sentences, the child connects very well with the self. If we say you do this, you do that, and we go on speaking, we go on talking a lot, the child when cannot connect with that, that's the time when we don't see any response to our parenting. So when we are not seeing the kind of response, and we think there is a problem, or my child does this, my child does that, things like that, then immediately we should understand that we need to connect with the children. So how do I connect? Up to 5 years at least, till preschooling level, we connect by talking to the children that's a first verbal connect, right? So when verbal connect, if you is not working out, immediately it's time to say, I do this, I like to do this, I like to talk to teacher, or I like to do this kind of a thing. So in nurturing, what we need to provide is a stimulus that is understood by the child. When the children are not listening, that means we need to change the approach, okay, and accept. Usually what we see is the parents stand an opposing kind of a position with the little children. That's not to be done. Always be supportive with the child and guide the child. The learning happens through the sense organs. We have sensory centers in the brain. So all these five senses, they need to be stimulated in the right way. Here Gauri B says, my daughter sometimes become very strong-headed. How to overcome this? Gauri, what age is the child? What is the age of the child is what I like to know about Gauri's daughter. And strong-headed is a heavy word, and it's really not to brand any child. We will, can we keep the questions further later on, since Gauri is not coming out with the age of the child. So I would proceed. So what I suggested was to connect with the child in a way where you see the response and not a reaction. Okay, now we are talking about good parenting and bad parenting. So what is the objective of good parenting? Chaya Sharma, I think she is 5 years. Okay, it's just a preschool level. So she's 4.5. That's okay. Now, right now, I'm talking about good parenting and bad parenting, and you may get some idea from what I would be telling now. Okay. So the objective of good parenting is to give a very good childhood, healthy childhood. You can also probably note down, Gauri, if you find some stubborn. Stubbornness is to be accepted. As I said, a child is a complete entity at a developing stage. Now, suppose if I say that I just don't like to wear this particular texture of a cloth, which is truly it's not suitable for me, and I'm stubborn about it, and I refuse. No, I cannot wear this texture. Then nobody will call me stubborn, right? People will appreciate, oh, it doesn't suit her. So why do we say the stubborn word to the children? We use the stubborn word to children because children, we expect them to accept everything. So what I'm trying to say is they are human beings at a developing stage. Development stage means they are learning many things simultaneously. So if the child is saying no to something, then don't have to call it stubbornness, but instead accept that at that particular time the child is expressing confidently about her likes and dislikes. So you may call it she is assertive at this time, and if she is able to communicate something, then you have done a good parenting. So here the objectives of good parenting is to give a healthy childhood, to raise a happy child, and to provide and develop all the kids with essential ingredients of childhood in a holistic manner. And holistic is a very popular favorite word in child development. And what we mean by holistic is develop the child by providing good emotional needs, physical needs, and social needs, and cognitive, that's learning needs, abilities and all, we need to provide with those things which the schools do take care of. So here the stubbornness is to do with emotion. Emotionally, if the child is feeling very strong about something, then we need to appreciate that that's an individual unique quality of a child besides the many commonalities. So children will have some unique qualities and lot of common qualities. So we must expect any child to differ from us, and we should accept it. That's what I am insisting as nature. By nature, if the children will have only some qualities which are very close to their heart or they like, and some which they don't. So we need to observe and appreciate the strengths of communication or the actions, and the stubbornness, if you would like to see that, if as far as there is no danger or risk involved in that, stubbornness should be taken as it's okay. That's the individual nature of a child, and stubbornness only with a particular action or activity, a particular choice, right? So this is about a holistic childhood. What we mean is to help the child develop into a wonderful adult through adolescence by providing good nurturing ambience to meet the emotional needs, social needs, then the learning cognitive needs. Okay, this is what we mean by good parenting. Okay, then good parenting is to, first of all, to understand our own kids. We must understand our kids. We must accept their likes and dislikes. Okay, good parenting is something to connect with your kids and develop them into kids who can communicate. So when they can communicate what is there in their mind, then yours is a very good parenting. And what we call it is as a child-centric parenting, which means we only guide the child, we respect the child's individuality. And what is bad parenting? Bad parenting is when the children do not mix up, children hesitate, children do not respond, they always react, and children, they don't completely learn or try to connect with anybody. All this kind of negative traits is because of either bad parenting or somewhere a bad learning experience for the child through some learning resource. So here we need to see if children are not according to other accepted childhood level, then somewhere we need to quickly involve in changing the approach and get into the remedial or corrective measures. And the remedial and corrective measures are not directly to the children. It has to come through the adult and through the parental level. Then automatically you will see the magical change in the behavior of the children also. Here again I would like to insist that for any successful behavioral change, first is to understand the child and then personalize the influence. For example, I'll give you one incident. There was food is one concern, no, for all the parents. So there is this little kid who is a toddler. He was not eating well. He was just refusing to eat any food or anything, a bowl full of food. And the kid loves to listen to ABCD. So the ABCD songs rhymes were kept displayed telecast on the through the YouTube, and the child was happy jumping about, still refusing to eat the food. So then we personalized it. How did we personalize it? And the child ate completely bowl full of food. So every spoon we named it A spoon, B spoon, C spoon. By the time Z spoon came, he completely ate it. So this is one small example of personalization for a change of year. What the children are interested in, you connect with that. And stories, personalized stories also are very good influencers for changing the behavior. Now, one example for this, how children connect personally. We tell stories, stories of animals, stories of various things, which are all wonderful and to develop imagination and various other things, the immeasurable kind of qualities in children. But once we personalize the kid, what is personalization with the kid is something that is very much closely connected with the child. You explain a child, we say child is of this particular age, a child likes this, child doesn't like this, child's name is this, child's family is this, child has a sibling or child doesn't have a sibling, mommy, daddy, relatives, all this is personalized attributes of a child. So to reinforce the belief that personalization is key to success, this story I'll tell you once. I used to read many stories to a kid in the neighborhood. Now there are two siblings. The mother always thought that these two siblings are a handful for me. If these people are more amicable and friendly, how nice it would be. Would you please help me, and things like that. And I've written stories specially for this to develop a good family bonding. So, to my utter surprise and absolute excitement, this little child for whom I repeatedly read these stories of mine, the child was going on a holiday vacation to his native place. So just before going, we were playing together, and I used to read so many stories for you. So which story do you like? And absolutely he told that particular story which I have written to develop good family bonding and sharing and caring. And in that story, there is no sibling. There is only child, mother and father, and the kid goes there to buy some mangoes. So in the story, everybody will have a mango to eat. So while starting from the shopping, I have described the story. So when I asked him, please tell the story in your own words. So the boy told the story, including his sibling. One mango for the mom, one mango for the dad, one mango for the little sibling, and one for me. I was so surprised, and I was extremely happy that my belief in personalization came true. That was my aha moment, which I can never forget in my lifetime. So any kind of an issue, try to understand your children, connect with the child, and there will not be any problem with any parenting. Now Sukanya Gokul is saying something. My child, 6 years, fully dependent on me to her teacher's house for playing with her kid. She'll not go until I come with her. Feel very insecure. Why? Little children, 6-year-old is very young stage, and how you need to be very specific exactly in activities where which action you think do you think the child is feeling secured. So you mean to say you to her teacher's house for playing with her kids she will not go. So probably at a personal level, the child must be thinking it's a teacher's kid and teacher, so she may not be going. So we need to understand our children and accept. We won't think she is depending on me as something wrong, or she's feeling insecure. Everything is to be accepted, and you expect the child to behave in a different way than you. This is what I'm trying to say. This natural and you want her to socialize better, then you need to nurture in a particular way by connecting with her. Okay, now to sort out any of these issues, I suggest Magic of Parenting is there, the book which I have written. In this, there are so many kinds of ways which we can connect with the children. In that book, I have also written experiences which resulted in absolutely what the parents like to have in the among the children. And then, so how do we achieve? That's I think good parenting and bad parenting I have explained well. Good parenting, everybody knows that what we need to give and how to achieve good parenting is everything is okay. When there is a problem with the child, you think is because of bad parenting or bad kind of a learning experience from some source where we need to, and the remedial measure has to come through the elders and through the parents, and the approach need to be by understanding the child and giving a stimuli that would definitely elicit a response and not a reaction. And we all must believe, because it is with evidence and with my experience, I am saying that all the children have all the best human qualities. We need to observe and we need to give a stimulus that would elicit that human quality. My daughter is 7 and is very proactive. She just skips everything if not in mood. So my kid is 2-year-old, always want to go out, explore, play a lot. That's very much good, and that's perfectly 2-year-old. Many places, but not possible every time. What should I do? I can't take him. 2-year-old. 2-year-olds are, when you can't take him, he can't understand. You need to connect with them and be tactful. And this is again being specific. And children, as I said, all the good human qualities and natural human qualities. If the child should not come along with you, what the child would be attracted to? We need to understand our children. Children love playing. Children will have many things that are. But if it's not with you, then the 2-year-old has to have some caretaker, somebody to take care of him, the 2-year. So what is it that the child is attracted so much? Provide those things sometimes. And then sometimes probably the 2-year-olds also, they have to see the children when they are learning. They need to see, they need to touch, feel and things like that. So if the child, here these are some of my paintings, but if the 2-year-old, it can be given a big picture of yours with the child. Then for some time at least, see something like this, some kind of a picture where the 2-year-old and your family picture or something big one. Tanvi Jaiswal, ma'am, please answer my question to, what is it, Tanvi? What is your question? Tanvi, my son is 7-year-old. We have taught him many things to do by himself, like brushing his teeth, bathing, hand wash, taking care of his toys. But mostly every now and then he tries to take shortcut. We have been patient and tell him again these things again and again, but it's not working out. Please suggest something. Tanvi, instructions and all, many times they don't work. Listening alone is not okay. The child is probably trying to have more attention from you. So what exactly you are expecting from the child, Tanvi? You taught him everything, but he's not doing it, is it? If he's not doing something, he enjoys the personal attention. Just enjoy their childhood. Have nice time with them. It's okay if he wants you. You give them more than is expected, and he'll be very much. He feels secured, and he will do by himself. then where we cannot expect the little children to be like robots, train them, then they do everything like that. So they are little human beings, just like how we like to socialize, we like attention. The little children also want it from us, especially from parents. It's something natural up to some age. Once they become adolescents, they don't run after us or our attention. So that's, I hope it's okay. Tanvi, understand and provide the need. It's probably an emotional need. He wants more attention. Then Samina, my son is in his teens. He's not much socialized as we as parents are. Why is there any specific reason or solution to this? As many times he avoid coming with us to many parties, sometimes outgoing to enjoy with his friends. Samina, adolescence, probably he would feel out of place. He doesn't have the right company over there, and teenage is a stage where they are establishing their authentic self. They are very strong. They already start feeling like grown-up adults at adolescent stage. So probably they feel out of place, and they don't get enough attention, and the same age group. These are the things. Why do people avoid? Either they avoid because they are getting some kind of an adverse stimulus. That is when we avoid. Probably they think parents are all grown up, they have their own things to talk and all. I get bored up. They may be thinking like that. Or they may be no other teenage people to mix up with. Or I do not know, some parents are so overpowering, they continuously instruct the teenage children too much. Probably that could be the reason. These are the reasons. Just we need to understand that. What is it that he is avoiding? Avoiding and doing what? So if one has to be attracted, just try to change the problem into a goal. I want my teenage son to be along with me. So what would attract? If I consider my teenage son also along with me, like equal, and then treat him like an adult but not like a small, always trying to correct or something like that, probably. That's what. So see if he is feeling out of place. See if he is having good company over there of other teenage people, or if he has enough activities or things like that, and the discussions which are connected with that. If he is not getting anything of like that, naturally they would try to avoid coming out because of lack of connection. What I would do for such a long time. Instead, they would rather do their projects or study or complete their works or chat for some time or have their freedom of watching TV, something like that. So this is what we need to understand. And if Samina, if you think it's very important for him to come, then snatch some time and sit with him and see that I understand, but it's my responsibility. I will see that you don't feel out of place. I see that there will be learning. Teenage is another time, a stage, a milestone where we need to, they love to learn a lot during teenage. So you can talk to people and learn a lot if he's that learning person. And then also importance of social networking, socializing. Various different kinds of uncles will be there or aunties will be there who belong to different professions. So you will get some professional exposure. So you may get some professional exposure and guidance. So all these kind of things, they get attracted to teens, not just to go boring time pass with elders and all that naturally. So if there is a learning, probably if he's a learning person, give them that stimulation. If he is a good, typical teenage, then a good company is important. So see that you provide this kind of nurturing so that the teenagers also come along with the family. What teenagers would definitely not like is correcting before others, or not treating them like little grown-ups, and just leaving them, things like that. And how to avoid distraction from 7-year-old. It's not at all clear. Sweta, you please, can you ask me the question properly? How to avoid distraction from 7-year-old? Who is that 7-year-old? And how to avoid distraction? It's not clear at all. So how do we achieve good personality traits? Again, as usual, all the commonly all the parents, the personality traits. Thank you, Samina. So the good personality traits among children, it's common for all the parents. The parents want their children to be confident, their children to be friendly, their children to be a learner. So list out what qualities do you think can be better groomed in my children. And Sweta, ma'am, please suggest few tips that could help me and my daughter. Sure, Sweta, can you please tell me what exactly do you want? So the good personality traits, whatever the parents think, this is what I really want in my children. List out those things, 1, 2, 3, confident. For example, I want my child to be very confident. Okay, what's a nurturing technique for this? Confidence building is possible only when there is very less of criticism. You go on correcting children, you go on criticizing, you go on making fun of them before others, or without your knowledge you talk light about them and things like that. That will pull down the spirit of the child, and there's too much of criticism definitely will reduce the confidence level, and they will start feeling hesitant at home as well as outside. And if there is anybody talking very confidently, if you see any children speaking very confidently, it's because of the absolute freedom to talk that's been given in the house, and less of criticism. The more you go on criticizing, the farther you are going away from the child. So you need to connect well with the bonding by being supportive, but being with the child, connect with your child, not by taking an opposing kind of a position. And somewhere probably some parents are also human beings, so somewhere there some kind of inadequacy, I must say, in the personality that will make them to go on criticizing the children and pass any derogatory remark probably and things like that. So we need to immediately, I say no to that. And the less of criticism, the more confidence is built in the child. And then genuine praise, not praise, not faking up, but genuine praise. You praise for the right thing, for the right act, at the right moment, and that is really encouraging for the child, and the child develops confidence. And at any one particular area, when the child is confident, somewhere there is a great mental space that is developed that helps in faster learning and grasping. So encourage the child, lesser criticism. Wherever you really need to correct it, you can correct it in a friendly way. Then playway, attentiveness is another thing. All the parents would like to have their child to be attentive, the children to be attentive. So how to develop this quality of attentiveness? Children love anything that is playway, that's exciting, that's less stress causing kind of a thing. So playway methods are attentive. What do we mean by playway method is to develop attentiveness is really develop an activity where you would just say some kind of a word or something only once, and they need to be attentive and speak about it, recognize that. And actually in child development, psychologists, they have come out with a word called intermodal perception. It's a perception. It is kind of strength and skill developed by being attentive. Like in their simple lives, they should be reading at the same time. They should be able to identify if there is any vehicle has passed by, or if there is any honking of a car that's gone by. So simultaneously, when they are doing something by involvement, and they are also paying attention to something else, then that's a good attentive nature. And this can be developed through play with the child. Play some musical instrument, tell me what it is. And if in the neighborhood you listen to some sound or somebody, something like that, then how attentive you are. In fact, where there are little children and siblings, you will be surprised if those moms who have got the opportunity to observe their little children through the developmental stage, you will be surprised how attentive they are to every minute detail. We are going on talking, we are in our own world, but they are so attentive to many small details of the world. So in the classroom also they are capable. So playway method is the best method, and they will automatically develop that faculty of being attentive to what they are either listening or reading, or listening to the teacher and then responding, or to parents. Then being friendly. Being friendly is always obviously the kind of learning experience. The learning experience is a word which I am always repeating. Please remember, when we are speaking, we are giving them an experience. When we are asking them to do something, then we are involving them in an experience through which they are learning. So all these things are learning experience. So if the children are expected to be friendly, then what kind of experience should they be getting? Obviously, a friendly experience. So when you say hello to somebody, then how wonderful, really with enthusiasm or something, and you make friends, you play well, there is excitement, there is happiness. So automatically the child, through the experience, a child has learned to be very having a nice excitement through being friendly. So automatically the child will be friendly. So appreciation, encouragement, happiness, all the positive experiences through learning will make the child a friendly child. So this is what these are not at all difficult kind of things which as an adult, whatever attributes you want your child to be, whatever personality traits you want your child to develop, all those things you list out one by one. And take my word, please, parental influence at home is a great influence. Parental responsibility is there a lot in the personality. And when you read The Magic of Parenting, you will understand that no kind of an influence in the outside world can influence in a bad way with our children if we really know good parenting. So that much of bonding is possible, and we need not fear about anything. And what is good and what is bad in the world can be in an experiential way. The children can learn at preschool level and primary school level. And the scholars say that a lot of things about life skills, they're all learned at the kindergarten level. So why not any kind of a thing which are concerns of parents, all those experiences can be given in a correct way. And for example, I would say liquor is a big nuisance in our society. So we don't want our children to be alcoholics or consume a lot of liquor and become this kind of things. And why not have a break the bottle kind of an activity during preschool times, preschool, primary school. Well, the moment they see any liquor bottle, they only should get an urge to break the bottle, not to consume the liquor. So these kind of small activities are all very useful, helpful, and effective kind of means in child development. So other than these things which I say in the remedial actions, we need to be very specific, like in whichever remedial action like you want, you write down that, and you have a format. I say it, time, plan, activity. You plan the time, you plan the place, and you plan the activity. Let them do this, have the experiential activity, and then change the behavior. So a remedial action has to be planned, has to come through the elders, and automatically there will be a change among the children in case the parents have that kind of a concern. Then, so stories is a good nurturing kind of a technique. Nurturing is to provide good experience, and the good experience a story gives is a very somehow everybody is attracted to stories. So how the story should be? A story should be personally connecting to the age, with the name, to this family connect, things like that. These are the attributes you bring into the story, and that is a very good nurturing technique. And then playway methods, these are also. So here today I gave you two examples of how by personal connect the two successful kind of a behavioral change, that the siblings reduced fighting through the mango story of the gul, and then the kid eating completely because he liked ABCDs, always listen to ABCDs, see the rhymes and things like that. So the spoons also, when they were named with ABCD, without any hassles, the kid could eat the food completely. So here, how do I help moms, working moms, or moms at home? Moms, can please write down these things. This will help you in spending good quality time with your children in their busy schedule, daily life and daily routine. Preparedness. So you are very naturally you are instructing something with the child or telling something to somebody. Preparedness is to be prepared for if not kind of a situation. Like if the child listens, okay. If not listen, I will do something else. Have an alternative too, instead of a frown. Never ever try to spank the kid or dominate the kid and expect the kid definitely. The child also is an individual with their own kind of a mental pictures and ambience and the mood tantrums and things like that. So as elders, we cannot expect the children to always listen immediately. So expectation should not be that. So always have if not. If my child listens, okay. If not, how else I can do? So these are the kind of preparedness. If the busy moms have, they won't have a frown on the face. This is what I want to achieve through this book, Magic of Parenting. I want to achieve complete, always happy, pleasant face to see for the little child. And if the child is used to getting 10 spankings, no spanking, but only hugs and kisses. This is the kind of transformation it should bring, I would like to bring among the moms or the parents. And the magic of parenting definitely achieves that in positive parenting. Then quality personal time. Always we should not be too busy. We must announce, and we should be with the little kids. This time is yours. We are just going to have great time. So quality personal time. Give quality personal time and prepare in case the child needs to go to a party or something like that. Not just then and there you come, you don't come or things like that. But just personal time. There is no demand. There is no expectation. Nothing. Just cool time. No instructions. Nothing like that. Just having a nice time, pleasant time, and then just explaining that we are going to go out like this, or we go for a shopping, whatever is the issue, just a casual mentioning during good quality bonding time. And then good quality kids time, personal time, kids time, and parental. This is the environment you are. There are children, there are parents, and then the parents as persons. So as a mother, I must have quality personal time, not always with the children and doing chores and all kind of things, and I do not have any personal quality time for myself. So if I have that, I will have a nice mental ambience, so I can handle any situation. So the personal quality time is up to your own interests. Then personal quality kid time. Quality kid time I have already explained, without any expectation, without anything, just to spend coolly with the child. And quality parental time. This is something we need to really achieve. I don't know how many parents are not showing any angry exchanges or argumentative exchanges or anything like that, and it is so very essential not to show this kind of heated or argumentative discussions before little children. They don't understand anything, and but they are learning. What they are learning is a duality or raising voice or whatever it may be. They are learning just automatically, though they don't understand anything. That is how from generation to generation, from little children, we pass on a particular way of expression and communication. The experience through listening, what they are getting is already there registered. Unlearning will become later on difficult. So have a personal quality parental time where both the parents, mom and dad, they sit together and talk and have some nice time, and whatever is that kind of an ambience should be reflected before the children also. And the parents must keep some code. If a mother is stressed out and can't handle anymore, a father is stressed out and having some kind of a gestural code or something you have, that I need to talk to you something, we are going to do it at a separate time. So have your issues sorted out at a different time once the kids are away, and when or they go out or they play or they sleep at a different place. Okay, and this kind of ambience, if you create up to 5 or 10 years, that's more than enough. It's a wonderful kind of childhood that you have created for the little children. So give little children happy and healthy childhood by expecting them to be different. That is important. Expect the children to be different and unique besides common attributes. And whatever it may be, give good nurturing techniques. We as probably when you have little children, you are in your 20s and 30s. That means 2 decades or 3 decades. 2 or 3 decades mental plane has to connect with 1-year-old or 2-year-old. So how should the expectation be? So expect them to differ, because whatever they are understanding, they are just simply saying. If they hear more no, things like that from mom, the children will do the same thing. So if the mom says, oh, I understand, is that so, and always have a happy face before the children, then the children will be able to communicate whatever they want, and you are doing a great job by giving that kind of a parenting. Okay, that is what is successful parenting, results in happy childhood, and personalization is the key to success. This is what is from me, moms. So let me know if what more I can do. Sweta's Rujan's question is here for me. Ma'am, please suggest a few tips that could help me and my daughter. I do not know much about you and your daughter. May I know what kind of tips? Up till now, whatever I was talking, probably something could be there for you also. Can you be more specific, a little more detailed, please? What you mean by what kind of tips for what purpose? And then more questions from parents. Did I rush through fast? Let me know if something more you want to know from me. This is what. Yeah. So, okay, Sweta, she distracts very soon. How old is she, Sweta? She gets distracted very soon. What exactly you mean? How old is she? Sweta, how old is she? When we provide with the activities that the child is interested in, then the child will not be distracted very soon, and they have a typical concentration span. 7-year-old. Okay, 7-year-old. Even 7-year-olds, they have a definite concentration span of 15 minutes. There has to be an introductory time given to them, then concentrate for 15 minutes on the task, and then winding up and relax kind of a thing. So, where does she get distracted? Provide very attractive learning experience, both passive and active learning experience, whichever it is. It depends upon the kind of learning experience she is having. Associate other things too. In case the mother is very, or I wouldn't say mother, somewhere any adult, if very impatient with a little 7-year-old child, then the child cannot concentrate much on that. The child will try to avoid, because there is no happiness or there is no harmony in the learning. The ambience and the atmosphere has to be harmonious, and the activity should be attractive to the child. You definitely must be observing in which other activities, Sweta, your daughter must be spending more time. Observe what kind of activity it is. Is it more body kinesthetics, where she would like to run around, play and things like that? That's a kind of a thing she is more interested, or she likes to sit and read, or she likes to view something, or she likes to write something. You need to observe or listen. Where does she get distracted soon is what we need to observe, Sweta. And then the only solution for any problem is to provide them with attractive activity. Surabhi, hello ma'am, my daughter is 5 years. If she wants, say something to me or to my husband, she cries first, and then she shares with us. I always tell her not to cry, but no change. It's really difficult for me to understand this situation. What does she say? Okay, this should give us some clue. What does she say after crying, generally? Good, Sweta, that's so nice. Surabhi. Surabhi, it is an emotional issue, right? So the nurturing inputs is to develop good emotional strength. So tell her stories. I really hope, all these are very small concerns. I really hope you all buy this book, The Magic of Parenting, and those who are living in Hyderabad can come home and pick it up also. This has answers to all these things. This has answers to all the concerns of children or in parenting. And on the whole, the beneficiary is the child. Your children are going to have a very, very nice time, happy time, and you, as parents, all the more you will feel superpowered. Surabhi, what I would like to tell here is you encourage your daughter to communicate more. Just anything, but she needs to talk. When people pent up things, then they cried. You need to observe. Are you allowing her to speak enough about anything? Just anything. Let it begin anywhere about anything. When the children speak and continuously they communicate freely, then naturally their emotional balance also comes down. If somebody is suppressing that, then it comes out probably in a different way. So encourage your daughter to speak about various other things that may even develop good confidence, and she might just communicate. Any more questions, or can we wind up? Thanks a lot for listening to me, and thanks a lot, Chaya, for this first live session of mine here. Otherwise, I was always video recording. This is the first live session on FB. Thanks to Hyde Mom and thanks to Chaya Sharma. It's been very exciting for me to talk to you all. I hope my talk was helpful. Shall we say bye-bye? Okay, Lavanya, hi ma'am. Could you please suggest me and my children on how can I avoid TV and mobile? My kids' ages are below 5 years. Don't completely avoid. Let us not avoid TV and mobile. But what we could do help is to attract them with good activities that are more attractive than the TV. It's the age is they're below 5 years, so let them watch for some time and then attract them to other activities which they can explore, like whatever things are there, they should be away from the TV room. Keep those things, the attractive things, in a different room where they can do anything with those things. Being active, involving in activity freely, these are all things which children like. So exactly at a particular time, we also need to observe one thing. Is it in the daily routine a particular time they are attracted to TV or a particular TV show? If it is so, that's okay. If the show is quite suitable for the children, for their age, let them have the fun. They have to be one with the society. So let them have their good time on TV for some time. And if as a mom you think it'll be nice if they don't watch these adult kind of things and it's not that, then exactly at that particular time, attract the children to another room with more attractive kind of play. Children love playing with water, children love playing with sand, children love playing anything like a ball or toys or something, and give them safe and free play time, which is definitely it would be more attractive than simply watching TV, because take my word, children just not, they like to go on watching only watching the TV things on the screen. Children automatically, they love to handle things. They like to handle things. They want to tear, they want to jump, they want to involve, do whatever they want to, but they need to touch, feel and all these things. So small kids below 5 years would love to play around rather than sit and watch TV always. So that's not going to be a problem. Create more attractive kind of things in a different room other than TV. They won't bother to watch TV. Take my word, surely. That's what is nurturing. Shilpa, my daughter is super sensitive. She is 2.5 years old, but she still doesn't want to mingle with other kids. 2.5 is she's happy homebird. Her home is her world, it looks like. And super sensitive is something I do not know. We got to be very specific with little children and mingle with other kids. Sometimes they just like to watch other kids, and we need to expect them to be different from what we think and accept them at this particular stage as it is. And but giving the experience of seeing other kids, watching other kids, playing other kids is essential. Thank you, Sweta. Chaya, what do we do? And I am honestly encouraging everybody, please buy The Magic of Parenting. It will give you a lot of clue and many things, clues for many issues. It will be very helpful. My pleasure, Shilpa. Thank you so much. So, is that okay? Thanks, everybody. That was a wonderful time I had with you all. Ma'am, from where can we get this book? I am staying in Srinagar Colony. I have some books. You can also get online. You can place an order online. Online also, you can ask for The Magic of Parenting, and that will be home delivered. And if you people can come home, I can also give. I have a few. Ma'am, it was very nice. We can end the session, I think. Yeah. Hi, ma'am. My son is 5 years and is interested in TV only. When he is back from play with friends, I give him 30 minutes each day in mobile, but the rhymes thing is subconsciously running in his mind. I buy a lot of books for him, but he just interested in reading them. Shravanti, Shashidhar, please have goals for them. What exactly you want? Be very specific. List out each one and make it personalized to him. Understand his needs and interests and plan accordingly. Whatever you are planning, that got to be more attractive than the old habits. Okay. Chaya, can we say bye-bye? Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Surabhi. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Bye and thanks.